Ready, Tom? Good boy! Hey guys, today I'm here with my horse Tomcat, and I'm going to make a video showing you how I teach my horses to self-load. Tomcat here is probably the least traveled of my horses, at least over the last 3 years or so, because he's mostly retired and spends most of his days at home, but he, like all of my other horses, loads pretty well still. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What you'll need to teach your horse is a lunge rope and a halter. I've got a pocket full of treats and the dressage whip should I need it. So to get started, I always say for trailer loading, no matter what you're doing, make sure that your horse gets a little refresher on loading however they feel the most confident. So for Tomcat, I think that's just me getting on and leading him onto the trailer, and so that's what we're gonna do. For his first attempt loading, you can see Tomcat was actually incredibly sticky. I won't make you watch the full duration of the video, but it actually took him about 30 seconds to get onto the trailer, which certainly isn't bad loading for most horses, but I wouldn't move on to the next step until he is walking on confidently without pausing. So once he gets on, I click, I reward, and then I give him a second to just settle and enjoy himself, and then I ask him to back down off the trailer. Then we walk a circle around and we attempt to load again. The second time, it took him closer to 10 seconds, which is pretty good, but still had some hesitation. So I repeat until he is walking onto the trailer without pausing at all. In addition to the treats that I have in my pocket, I filled a hay net with alfalfa, which is a high value reward for him. So whenever he's on the trailer, it's a happy place for him to be because he gets to get a treat and then munch on the alfalfa. So for the next phase of this lesson, I'm gonna get on before Tomcat, and then I'm gonna run the lunge line out the escape door, and then I will see if he'll just get on his own, and if not, I will add pressure from behind to encourage him to walk on the trailer. But if all goes well, he's really enjoyed the time that he just spent getting on and off the trailer with me, and he'll know what I'm expecting him to do, even if it takes him a little bit of time to figure it out. So for this step, the goal is that I am driving him on from behind like I would be if he's self-loading, but I do have the lunge line there to kind of guide him in the right direction. Most horses will not just let you pull them on by the lunge line, so it's important that you are driving them from behind, but as your horse starts to figure it out that you want them to get on the trailer, they may start climbing on willingly on their own. Make sure that you're quick to pull up the slack from the lunge line so that they don't step on it as they're getting on. To put pressure on Tomcat from behind, I usually tap him or tickle him with just my fingers, or I might swing the lunge rope at him. It's totally acceptable to pick up a whip and tap them on the legs as long as you're not doing it in a way that they find extremely agitating. Generally, I know that it's time to move on from this step when my horse starts loading onto the trailer before I even get a chance to come off and walk behind them to add on the pressure. As you can see here, his next 2 attempts, I didn't really get a chance to get all the way off the trailer and put pressure on before Tomcat came on, which made me think that it was probably time to move on to the next step. So now that my horse is loading with the lunge line, really even before I get a chance to get off the trailer and cue him to get on, I feel pretty good about how confidently he's getting on. And now I'm gonna see if he can kind of put the pieces together and put himself onto the trailer without me going through it first. So I've switched to just a regular lead rope, and I'm just gonna ask him to step up. Step up, good. Yep, and if all goes well, he'll get right on the trailer, no questions asked. Now, some horses might need a little bit of extra encouragement, so if your horse is already comfortable with the whip, I don't personally have a problem with kind of waving it behind them or even tapping them on the legs, as long as that doesn't really stress them out. Sometimes, especially the way I've trained my horses, if I tap them on the leg, they'll pick it up, and that's just enough to kind of unstick their feet and get them onto the trailer. So I'm gonna back him off, and we're gonna do that again, and we'll just practice it until he feels really confident. Good job, Tom. Good. Oops. Oops, sorry. So ideally you'd be a little bit better at throwing the rope up over his back. But if that's the hardest part, I'd say your self-loading training is going pretty well. So I'm gonna take him off the trailer, I'm gonna load him up one more time, and for our final step, I'm gonna actually shut and latch the butt bar behind him. All right, now we're gonna put it all together. Good boy. And I do need him to take just one more step forward. Good, so that's how I tap their legs without hopefully upsetting them. And now that he's all the way in, I shut the butt bar and he's done. So I hope that was helpful. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.